All right, I have another animal metaphor. I want to talk about the butterfly. The interesting thing about the butterfly is the butterfly flies like a drunk, it just flies erratically and irrationally, assuming that if you're here and you want to go here, that the most rational path is the straight line. But we know why, and just bringing it up in the context of the butterfly starts to tell us why the butterfly has a reason to go, like this. The butterfly is a good metaphor for why humans sometimes choose irrationality. And it's a funny thing because the human example is not nearly as beautiful as the butterfly. Prima facie, I'm thinking of trolls. Trolls come in and they act very irrationally. And why do they do that? Well, they don't want you to get a hold of how they think because in nature and in human society, if people know how you think, they'll use that to manipulate you. If they know how you'll react, then they'll do something over here to get a reaction so that you move over to here, and they'll have a trap set up there for you. So animals know this, that they don't want to be predictable, their path. And this is why the butterfly flies that way. Because if you watch butterflies, mating or even just watch them really closely how they approach a flower, you can see they have very precise control of their flight. I mean, I've seen butterflies and moths in mating rituals where their flights were just amazingly precise and in formation, just amazingly. So it's obvious that they have the ability to fly in a straight line or a circle or any metaphorically rational path that they want. And they have good reason to go ahead and dance around instead. And what is the good reason? The reason is that they're a fairly weak creature and they want to be. They want to spend their time just sipping nectar, living an Epicurean dream. And so they put their energy in being hard to predict rather than in having big fangs. I mean, a bear can afford to be easy to predict because you have to get in its face to do anything about it, and it's prepared for that eventuality. A butterfly is not prepared for that eventuality. And so in humankind, it's the same sort of thing. I mean, people have a reason to act erratically. Slaves have a reason to act erratically because their slave owners already have the jump on them. They know, well, if you run, here's what's going to happen. They have this power, a lock on these people, and it comes from being able to predict their reaction to certain things. So people in oppressed situations will start to choose erratic behavior, will start burning and looting and riots and having erratic behavior because they need to get into a state where somebody isn't a step ahead of them figuring out what they'll do and being prepared to stop them and have them captured in this web of logic. So it makes it's logical, it's rational to be illogical at that point. Now humans, we have a lot of options. A butterfly doesn't really have an option. It's not going to grow fangs. It can't decide to have a different philosophy. Humans, on the other hand, can. In some situations, we can jump around erratically. In another situation, we can try to see ourselves as the predator. So humans make a mix of these kinds of philosophies, which is why a troll is not a beautiful creature like a butterfly, because it's not living entirely in that butterfly's model, but it's borrowing some, or we at least can learn metaphorically what's going on when people are acting irrationally and it seems intentional. And why would they do that? Well, I mean, the model of the butterfly tells us a reason that they might do that.